Hello everyone. The first order of business is to remove the two cover plate screws / bolts, and it uses these very cool, kind of a nostalgic type of nuts, and they stay in place simply by pressing the index finger so it doesn't move. Now I have a straight jeweler's screwdriver. Just a few twists and you see it comes apart. Move over to the other side.
And this is a harp that you can just buy pretty much anywhere.
Yes, that's correct.
Could you always take them apart?
Yes and no. In the beginning, in fact, I have it in my collection. When I first started playing harmonica back in the 70s, the harmonica reed plates were actually nailed on to the comb. And as I take it apart, you're going to see the different components. The type of screws that are commonly used in Europe are the posi drive Phillips. So I'm not using a regular Phillips screwdriver, but this is the one, if you can get a close-up of the tip, so the tines line up perfectly at the head of the posi drive metric screws, and it is straight. It lines it up perfectly straight. So we loosen them up. So we remove the screws. The bottom reed plate, also known as the draw reed plate, pops off. The top. Okay, so for the moment I'm just going to put aside, and we have 10 reeds on both, which gives us a total of 20 reeds. That's pretty amazing, really, when you have such a small instrument. I mean, here's the size of my hand, and then where you can play a couple, 2.5, 3 octaves on some of these smaller harmonicas, which we call the diatonic harmonica. And then that's in comparison to, look at this beast here. This is a rare Hohner harmonica called the 2016 CBH, engineered and made by Chanbei Huang, who eventually went off and started his own harmonica company in China. But this particular one has 64 reeds in it, okay? So I gotta tell you, if I'm gonna work on this, I definitely have to book a lot of time. The heart of the harmonica, probably the most, and I don't think anybody out there would argue with me, the most important part of the harmonica are your reed plates and the quality of the reeds and how they are set up. Okay, so now that we're done looking at the components, let's put it back together. I have the ABS plastic comb made by Hohner, Special 20 is the model. And I'm going to put this darn thing back together, starting with the top reed plate. And the top reed plate, people, when they start learning to work on their own instruments, oftentimes will get it confused, but the top blow reed plate always has the reeds away from you, see? They're not here. And now watch what happens when I put the draw reed plates. See? There are the reeds right here. Okay? And then you can flick them. There they are. This one over here, you can't, because they're inside the instrument. Blow reeds, draw reeds, or sucking reeds. Okay? Now we're going to take our screws and put them back exactly where you found them. It's like anything that you torque. You don't want too much, you don't want too little, you want it to be even. Or else what you do is you tend to fold the reed plate onto the reed, passing through, and it'll go click, 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 like this. usually would like to do it, I'm not actually torquing down on it, I'm just sort of gently putting these in just to line them up where they're indexing. I'm not cross-threading them. How many times have we forced a screw or a bolt and we end up stripping something? Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to go back and just see, that one needed to be a little bit more, a little bit more. There we go, like that. And whatever reason I took this apart to tune it, to replace a bad reed, or change the gapping, or just because I'm in front of a camera and I need to show you how it's done, I'm done with that process. So now I can put the cover plates back on.
Great.
And the cover plates are in so many shapes. I wrote numerous articles about how the cover plates can actually change the voicing of your instrument.
I was going to say, are the cover plates like the speakers of the harmonica?
Yes and no.
Right.
Yes and no. Maybe more like the enclosure. Maybe the speakers themselves would be the reeds, and then the box of the speaker cabinet will be more like the cover plate.
So more like the cabinet.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm getting at here. And I'm reversing the process. Can you get a view of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just reversing the process, lining it up, make sure everything. See, so I have too much of a gap here. Snap. Okay. And now I'm going to go for the tight. Type here. Okay.